Welcome back to Real Talk, the show where we sit down with real operators doing real deals and break down what's actually happening in today's market. Today, we're talking about just one thing that really moves the needle in this business, which is cold calling. I'm joined by Karim Mahmoud, the founder of Leverage Solutions, a US-based company operating out of Cairo that's helping investors build professional calling teams and scale their real estate pipeline. And on top of that, two of our close to control clients, Brandon Morales and Wally, is already working with Kareem's team. So I know firsthand that he knows the best on how to scale businesses. So Kareem, great to have you on the show. Before we dive into the tactics, give the audience a short version on solutions come to life.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Deon, for having me today. I'm really happy to be with you. But Leverage Solutions, the call calling, I started joining the real estate market back 6, 7 years ago. I used to work for a call calling company, and that was the first introduction to the real estate market. And then 1 year later, I was one of the main 9 account managers, responsible for a full account of about 100 callers. And I saw what was happening and how we could actually be helping out wholesale businesses through call calling, but with different approaches and different ways. So I thought about starting my own business. I had a list of everything that I don't like that's happening that could be better or could be done in a better way. And I started my own business, and I actually was in control to give out a product that's actually way better and is helping other businesses. The best thing about what I do is I see my work reflecting on other businesses and how they can actually scale and grow their operations.
That's amazing. So, I know you run your company from Cairo, but serves operations across the US, right? What's the reason for setup, and how do you make sure that you keep your performances high across different time zones?
Yeah. So first off, I'm Egyptian myself, so I'm living in Egypt. Secondly, it's way cheaper to have Egyptian labor than having American labor. And third thing is we literally have a Batman life. We wake up by 3, 4 p.m. Egyptian time and finish our work by 4 or 5 a.m. Egyptian time, which is going to be anywhere between 9 a.m. Eastern till the end of the day. And we have multiple campaigns in different time zones, and we cover these time zones throughout our day. So we want to make sure we're calling in the best or the peak hours for these time zones.
Amazing. I mean, thanks so much for that breakdown, Karim. Now, for the next, I would really want to break down the power of cold calling in 2025. So, but everybody's talking about AI, PPC, inbound leads, but I still feel like cold calling keeps producing more results compared to the other platforms. So, from your perspective, why does the phone still dominate when it's done right?
Yeah, well, people keep saying call calling is dead, and I've been hearing this for the past years, and it's never dead. I mean, each and every person could be doing loads of money just using call calling. The best wholesalers, I mean, Eric Klein himself, he's only doing call calling. He doesn't do PPC, he doesn't do any of that. So call calling is dominating because there's nothing more authentic than having someone talking about the property for, 5, 6 minutes, giving you out some information and using the tone of voice as well. You can tell from their tone of voice if they're interested, if they're in a hurry to sell, if they're in a situation that's distressing them so that they want to sell their property as quick as possible. So the call calling, it's cheaper than PPC and other marketing channels, yet it has one of the best conversion rates for its price.
Got it. But obviously, you know that AI market is evolving, right? Do you think that maybe in the future, AI can replace outbound cold calling?
Yeah, I don't think so, because it's one of my main jobs to test out each and every new platform, each and every new feature that could get up there. And AI has been doing amazing things. It's been doing crazy things, but we still need that human factor included. As far as I know so far, robocalls are illegal. Mm-hmm. So you have to have a person doing that for you, even if it's an AI. And I'm pretty sure AI can outsmart a lot of people doing call calling, but yet it's not yet legal, or it's not yet powerful enough to take over human interference in the call calling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. I think we're just not there yet. AI is not just.
Yeah, we're not there. Maybe in a year or two.
Yeah. So, and on top of that, I actually listened to a few of your callers. They sound calm, confident, and pretty much American. So how do you train that tone? What exactly is the process of making sure that your VAs to get to sound like a real acquisition pros instead of like just telemarketers?
Yeah. So whenever we're hiring, we're only looking for people who have a good accent. And by default, Egyptians, they have a closer accent to the Americans. Secondly, we have our own training team in-house that whoever is working for Leverage Solutions, they have to go through a 5-day training program where we make sure they are aware of each and everything that we want them to know of. We don't want them to hear anything for the first time on the phone. So we try to give them as much information as possible. We test them out on these information, and if they pass the tests, they get accepted. And even the people who got accepted and are working full-time for Leverage Solutions, we have our own training team who's listening continuously to their calls, always giving coaching sessions, always giving them some, points to work on, so that we always want to make our callers the best and the most efficient ever.
Amazing. So I know obviously you are like one of the experts in the space. Like, would you mind walking me through, like, let's say the first 10 seconds of like an amazing call? Like, what exactly the structure your reps follow?
Yeah, well, basically, it's sticking to the basics. Like, it's as simple as calling someone and asking them if they're interested in selling their property. But it's not just about throwing out questions. It's about being intelligent enough to keep up a conversation, to manage a conversation, so that it's not you reading out the script. I always tell my people, the script is not for you to read a word by word. It's for you to know as a guideline, like, what exactly do I need to ask? So that's one of the most important things that we teach our people, is we want them to have an authentic conversation. It's not just reading out a script. So a perfect call would be literally like, hey, Deon, this is Kareem. I'm calling with Leverage Solutions, and I'm calling to check if you might be open to receive a cash offer for your property. It's as simple as that. If they're interested, we make sure we ask the right questions at the right time, get as much information about the condition, about the whole scenario. The best thing about working with us is we do wholesaling as well, right? So we look at the lead from a wholesaler's perspective, not from a calling agency perspective. So we can actually know if someone's interested, even if the numbers are not making sense and they're really motivated. They're in a situation where they're going to lose their house, for example, if it's a pre-foreclosure lead and they're asking above market value, we still know that this could be a banger deal. Right. So this is the difference. Sometimes I'd be reaching out to one of my clients and telling them, hey, guys, you have this deal that we got you. We have a lead that was sent to you, and this is a banger deal. I want your acquisitions to hop on a phone and call them as soon as possible. One thing that we do as well is we send out ARVs with our leads. So you receive a calling lead with an ARV with some comps, a recording, and a template that tells you everything that happened in the call. So the ultimate goal that we're trying to reach starting 2026 is to minimize the acquisition tasks, right? We want the acquisition to just pick up the phone, give out offers, and lock up as much deals as possible.
It's amazing, Karim, for the breakdown. So let's actually talk about the systems and structure. So one thing I respect about your model is that it's not just hire a caller and hope. Yeah, like you got supervisors, data managers, QA, the full stack. Explain how that structure works behind the scenes and why it's critical. Like, let's say once a company scales past maybe 1 or 2 callers.
Yeah. So basically, each and every manager that we have in the team has their own, huge part of the process. So, for example, we have a team leader. That's someone who we never mentioned, right? It's never mentioned on the scene. A team leader is someone who monitors the calls, make sure the callers are logged in, they're on time, they're taking calls, no one's having issues. If anyone's having a connection issue or anything like that, they report to him, and he's the one supposed to fix the issue, or report it to the department that's supposed to fix the issue. Another person would be the data manager. A data manager is really important, is very overlooked. Data manager is the one who's responsible to make sure the calls are getting connected, right? If you don't have a data manager, it's a mess in the dialer. So the calls are getting connected right. There's nothing that's alarming. If there's anything that's alarming, we have the proactive approach to avoid the issue before happening, instead of just waiting for the issue to happen and then try to fix it, right?
Yeah.
Quality assurance manager. These are one of the most important managers that we have in the process. They listen to the call, document the information, cross-reference the information with the county records, add the lead temperature. They also provide us with the report for the ARV and comps for each and every lead. So without them, we could be sending very bad leads. Like a quality assurance manager, most of the time, their main job is just to listen to the call, make sure it meets the client qualifications or the wholesaler's qualifications and buy box, so that we make sure each and every lead we're sending you or we're sending to the wholesaler is going to be a perfect fit for his buy box, so that none of the leads that we're sending is just a waste of time.
That's nice. Amazing. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know this, but two of our clients, like two of your clients, like Brandon and Wally, they also use closer control. Can you walk me through how exactly your callers integrate with the CRM such as ours, like the process behind it?
Yeah, what we do is that we never have the call caller sending the lead towards the CRM right away because we have a quality assurance team that verifies each and every lead. So whenever we have a lead come in by the call caller, this lead gets submitted to our system as leverage solution, where my acquisition managers would be validating the lead. They'd be listening to the call, making sure everything is documented, cross-referencing information with the county records. And if the lead is qualified, they're going to be filling in a form in Closer Control, the web form that we provide from Closer Control. And once they fill in the form, they submit it, the lead would pop up to my acquisition manager so that they can hop on the phone and start getting the deal signed.
Amazing. And I think like that's like an amazing breakdown, Kareem. I think you explained it in the best way possible. And I'm pretty sure obviously you know, you've been doing this for some time and I mean you're the expert in this space. So let's talk about like leadership. So I mean, because obviously you're leading a team and on top of that, you build an amazing team culture across countries, right? So what's the leadership philosophy that keeps people motivated and performing according to you?
Well, to be honest, it's about being humane. Like I have human connections with my top tier management or the managers that I deal with the most. But it's not always about, you know, the production or the number of leads that we got or the how did the day go. It's always good to have human interactions with your people. Make sure that your team shares the same vision. And that's really important because business owners, when they're hiring people, they're just looking for skills. They're just looking for someone who could get it done at a specific time. But they don't think about how this person's mindset is or how do they think about the company. How do they see themselves in this company? Do they see a future in this company? Do they feel heard? Do they feel like the business really cares about them? It's not just about getting them to work and get all the work out of them. It's always good for them to feel like they're appreciated, their efforts are seen, and it's not just, you know, by giving them extra payments or adding some to their pay slip or anything like that. But it's always good to have like I have on Saturdays, me and my team, we go on and we go to play paddle, we go to play, you know, table tennis. We have to have like some human connections out of work. Actually, well, matter of fact, two of my managers got hosed their fiance,
Oh, nice.
but they're not married yet. Yeah, that was last Sunday. And it was awesome. Like we had the whole team there. It was like we're celebrating them out of work. It didn't have anything to do with work. They're just happy. We built a family. We tried to build a very healthy environment. And actually, I don't know if you guys know about that, but Egypt recently has had a lot of cold calling companies coming up on the market. And most of the people are just they're not happy because the companies are treating them like they have to get targets or they're just out of the door, right?
Yeah.
We do it a little bit different, and that's what keeps my managers around. That's what keeps my managers motivated and what really loving the company, wanting to see the company grow.
Yeah, no, like I totally agree with you because I think the teams which perform the best, they would have to like really feel welcome in the company which they're working for, at the same time be heard, and at the same time like you cannot just like treat them as like another resource. You just have to make sure you know what they are also people. They also have feelings the same way. They want to be like heard as well as welcomed. Yeah, and I think that totally.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And one last question before we end our session. This is a personal question. What's been the hardest lesson for you when you have been building leverage solutions?
Yeah, well, that's a difficult one. Who to trust? This was a very hard lesson that I learned. 1.5 years ago, I had another business before Leverage Solutions that did almost the same thing. I had a partner there, and in Egypt, we're obligated to go to the military service. It's nothing that's optional. You have to go. And when my time came and I had to go to the military service, my partner, who has been my partner for like 3-4 years by then, who has been my best friend by then, he stole everything. He literally stole everything, all the money, all the clients, all the employees, everything. And he just fled the scene. And I had to rebuild everything from scratch. But the lesson that I learned the best is to choose who you can choose as a partner. You have to validate your partner. You have to qualify them as well for someone to be your business partner. And the thing that I saw a lot of bad aspects that I just overlooked because we're friends, right? But that was a lesson that I learned. You shouldn't ignore these, feelings. You shouldn't ignore these little things that you see that would tell you that that person wouldn't be a very good fit for a business partner.
That's been pretty powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that story. For everyone who's watching, obviously, if you're ready to stop guessing and start calling, check out Leverage Solutions. Kareem's team will really help you build out a professional cold calling operation that actually delivers results you want. And thank you so much for Kareem for hopping on the show with us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Deon. It's my pleasure. Pleasure's all mine.
And obviously, guys, if you want the backend to match the front end precision, automate the follow-ups, 64 campaigns, revival systems, head over to Closer Control as well to book a strategy call. And if you want to build your cold calling team, check out Leverage Solutions in the meantime. When Leverage powers your calls and Closer Control powers your systems, you're not just chasing deals, you're going to be controlling the entire pipeline. Kareem, thank you once again for dropping Real Game today. I'm Deon. This is Real Talk, and thank you so much.
Well, Deon, we didn't mention that we closed a deal with Closer Control because of the reviving campaign.
Oh,
We've been using Closer Control for about 3 weeks now. On the second week, we got 2 contracts signed, one of which was a revived lead, thanks to the AI bot and thanks to you guys.
oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Kareem. Okay, so obviously the show is not over yet. Kareem had some last minute insights about Closer Control. Thank you so much for sharing that.